Nussrat Jahan to kindly come up on stage and join me for a very special fireside chat. Jore Hatali Din Apnara Shobai for Nussrat Jahan, the diva who truly matters. Give it up for her, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Both sides very good. You know, impromptu conversations, I truly believe, are the best. When you don't plan them, the best conversations happen then. And this is exactly one of the Mujhe topic, similarity. That's what I love. You know, I also saw the topic just 2 minutes back. But then we are talking now about cultural heritage and feminism in entertainment space. And I believe you are truly the correct personality to talk about it in the best way possible. And we will decode a lot of interesting things from your end. So it will be fun. First, I would love to ask you ki cultural heritage, jeta amra shuni, jeta amra boli. What according to you is cultural heritage, and what according to you is the correct and ideal definition of feminism? Tomar hisebe ki?
Firstly, let's have a big round of applause for Shubhajit because back to back he's conducting. That is not a big round of applause. Come on, guys. Put your hands out of your pocket. Come on, you can do better than this. And yeah, I was looking forward to see you. I'm slightly a mess today because I just came up and I asked Shubhajit, what are we talking about? Because
she asked me this just 2 minutes after I saw what's the topic.
Not that I didn't get the opportunity to ask, but small things happen. छोटी-छोटी नहीं बड़े-बड़े शहरों में ऐसे बड़े-बड़े ब्लंडर भी होते हैं जहाँ पे Priyanka's topic was actually forwarded to me, and I was like, okay, talking about digital media platform, I think that sounds very cool. Wherein they thought that yes, I'm the perfect person to speak about feminism. I am going to decode why not. Because yeah, I think let's not make it very formal. Let's have a fun session. We don't want to bog you down. We do not want to bore you guys. So thoda একটু মজা করি
একটু মজা করি and that is exactly
লাইট হার্টেড বানিয়ে দিই বিষয়টাকে দেখো বিষয়টা হচ্ছে কালচারাল হেরিটেজের বুকিশ ডেফিনিশন না দিয়ে আমি বলি what happens is things that have been passed upon for years which is part of our culture which has been legitimized which has been imbibed in one's head and which has become a part of everyday's day-to-day life. That is cultural heritage. Sometimes I have seen a lot of people through videos, through conversations, putting the heritage or talking about culture, putting it right there for people to consume in a beautiful way. যেমন আমাদের শহরের রসগোল্লা আমাদের একটা কালচারাল হেরিটেজের পার্ট
ইভেন শুরু করেছিলাম রসগোল্লা আর মিষ্টি দইয়ের ব্যাপারে বলে আজকে সকালে
হ্যাঁ I've got a sweet tooth, we'll not talk much about that. কিন্তু ওরকম ধরনের we've always spoken about culture and heritage. But since you're talking about feminism, এটা একটা অন্য ধরনের cultural heritage চলে আসে যখন feminism-এর বিষয়ে কথা বলা হয় because it's sort of age-old practice that people have been doing all over India, and now we hear women in the West also talking about it. Their sort of culture, when they are the ones who are getting on top of their voice and talking about feminism, I think somewhere the lines between creating equality to causing to say that one gender is better than the other, in line ta kothao ekta blurred hoye geche. Right? Me being I'm a female and I think I look feminine from every angle in my actions, my words, my voice. But I do not support pseudo-feminism. What I support is this difference that people put out that eta korte parbe na ba not properly causing empowerment towards this gender of mine. That is when you should talk about feminism, not unnecessarily yell on top of your voice and say, "Hey, we are going to do this and we want this and we are better than men." I don't think either of the gender is better than each other, and both complement each other because you need both to work together to form a society. Because I think that's how God has made us. That's how chromosomes react to each other, and it's sort of a yin yang. There are certain things that looks good when a man does, and there are certain things that looks good when a woman does. So, Zabardasti ka feminism is not nice, it's not a great idea. But yes, standing up for your own rights, voicing your opinions, making your presence felt. I think everybody has the freedom of speech, but just make the right use of it. Then probably I'll be able to speak on feminism on the right lines. Somewhere the lines have got blurred, Shubhajit, and I sort of don't support that. So probably I said I'm not the correct person to stand up and say, oh my God, I'm going to talk about feminism today. I'm going to kill it. Because we have a house full of women, we have a house full of men, and I think all would agree that we all need each other to coexist. And we are part of this huge, diverse ecosystem, and we need to respect that.
Absolutely, and Jina, I think she said about pseudo-feminism. I think it's a very important point. I mean, we need to totally identify what exactly it is actually. And a lot of people perhaps don't realize feminism has got nothing to do with gender. That's my personal idea. Me as a man, I can also be a feminist if I promote the ideology of feminism and if I truly believe in it, right? But a lot of people perhaps associate it with gender. Now you spoke about pseudo-feminism. I'm pretty sure you
That's
must.
something very interesting to
हाँ, so इसीलिए है बहुत मेरे दिमाग में आया है एकदम निकाला
It's actually very rightly said that there are men who are also talking on behalf of the woman, saying, why can't she do this? Let's say a woman doing or working in a man's firm, jobs that men have been doing for ages. Women are doing that beautifully, and they're coming out with flying colors. And there are men supporting that. So we always think about who's questioning it. We actually do not notice who's supporting it. And if you do support Shubhajit, hats off to you.
Bang on, that is what it is. But what I want to know from your end is that normally what we hear, and I'm pretty sure all the women over here, they will agree with what I say, an ambitious woman is often labeled as an outrageous woman, which ideally should not be the case, because just like a man has got all the right to be ambitious, a woman too exactly has all the rights to be ambitious, irrespective of whether they're married, this, that, etc., whatever, right? I want to understand that. Tell me a situation in your life when you did something which was purely heartfelt and you were very proud of that, but people perhaps took it in an outrageous way and you were very surprised कि यार मैंने तो मेरे दिल का बात सुना मैंने. Why are people reacting in a way as if I've done a very outrageous thing? Something which was perhaps very funny. फिलहाल एक या दो बता दो.
That's going to be a very tough call for me to take, because I think almost I'm 34 years old, and till now, from the time जब से होश संभाला है, मैंने वही किया जो दिल से आता है, जो अंदर से आता है, and that has mostly been outrageous. That has mostly been looked down upon. Initially, I used to feel कि यार I'm being judged big time. ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए था. Maybe I'm going wrong somewhere. The very next moment I realized, oh, none of y'all pay my bills. No one. Nobody's paying my bills. I'm still slogging. I'm still working on my own. And I have the right to write my own narratives as far as my own life is concerned, because I'm going to live it. You're not going to live for me, buddy. You live your life. And nobody will question you. At least I won't. तो मेरी जिंदगी है, मुझे जो करना है वो मैं करूँगी. तो ऐसा एक नहीं है, ऐसा बहुत सारी बातें हैं, बहुत सारे किस्से हैं, and picking up one would be very, very difficult. But I have always felt like that. Like I don't know why people questioning me. I don't understand. And maybe that sounds arrogant. Maybe that puts off a lot of people. Maybe you lose a lot of friends. Maybe you lose a lot of work. And keep losing everything unless you don't lose your sanity, because that's what keeps you going. So
this point I think truly deserves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. You don't lose your sanity. That is all that matters at the end of the day.
I just want to know, before we even go chit-chatting, are you guys hearing?
I know it's an intense topic.
না মানে হয় না একটা কমপ্লেক্স টপিক, এইসব ভুলভাল কথা আমরা একটু সাজিয়ে গুছিয়ে বলে থাকি. আমি চেষ্টা করছি যাতে একটা মোর হিউম্যান আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডেবল ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজে আমরা বলতে পারি, যাতে আমরা একে অপরে বুঝতে পারি.
Absolutely, that is the idea. আমাকে একটা কথা বলো, often in the entertainment industry, and this is irrespective of the industry, not just Bengali industry or Hindi or South, whatever, you know, people always talk about this discrimination between men and women, right? When a woman perhaps deserves, you know, maybe higher pay than their, you know, male co-star, because they have earned that position in the industry, sometimes they are questioned, even if they deserve that price, right? You know, have you ever experienced those kind of stuff where you felt like, you know, given the kind of stardom and the respect that I've earned, I deserve this price, but just because perhaps, you know, I'm female, I'm not being, you know, kind of given the basic right, respect and commercial that I deserve. Have you ever been in such a situation, and how have you handled that?
I have a very boring answer to that. No. I've been lucky that way because I believe, yes, women are talking about being parity these days and they have the rights to. কিন্তু একটা জিনিস বুঝতে হবে যেমন ধরো তুমি ইন্ডাস্ট্রি নিয়ে বলছো today I am in this industry for 13 years. The amount of money I'd be charging a young boy who's just entered the industry, even as the lead actor, would not be charging that. It's about your work experience of work that you're gaining. It's about audience acceptance. It's about how talented you are that you deserve that sort of money. So everybody has to prove themselves. आप उसके बाद स्टार बन जाओ, सुपरस्टार बन जाओ. Nobody's bothered. Like for me, if I say that I'm charging 1 rupee, I'm charging 1 rupee. Big deal. You take 10 rupees. I don't care. I don't care. But you don't come and tell me why my 1 rupee has to become 50 paisa one day. That cannot happen. So, you know, I have friends sitting in the audience who would agree with me on this.
Hoots and whistles can come if you agree. Hoots and whistles बजा दो. It's a very informal and fun audience over here.
इनको आता है पर आज शरीफों के बीच बैठे, शरीफों के बीच बैठे, शराफत का पहनावा है, तो आज तो रहने दीजिए. But yes, so that pay parity is not a bad idea, but you also have to understand the situation and act accordingly. हर जगह की आवाज उठाना अच्छी बात है, but बेवजह उठाना अच्छी बात नहीं है. हाँ, so that you have to understand. It is your situation. You should know when to react and when not to react. I never did have to confront a situation where I would react unnecessarily. I do react on these, but not on this. So the boring answer was no.
But it's still interesting as long as you were speaking that. You know, when we talk about cultural heritage and culture, you know, automatically, subconsciously, or whatever, we tend to relate it with outfits, right? We tend to take, यार ये हमारे culture के हिसाब से कपड़े हैं, ये हमारे culture के हिसाब से कपड़े नहीं हैं, right? And unfortunately, more than men, it's the women out there who face that a lot more. And I believe थोड़ा सा better हुआ है compared to perhaps what it was before. But still, it's not exactly as that. I can see the women over here, they're smiling because they know that I've actually hit bullseye when it comes to the point. But I want to understand, can cultural heritage and culture actually be associated with clothes? Because I'll tell you why. I have seen Europeans and people from the West over there, you know, their culture is different. But then they may be embracing Indian culture and Indian supremacy, but their outfits, their choice of outfits is their outfits. Do you think this thing should stop where we actually associate culture or cultural heritage with the outfits that we wear, especially when it comes to women?
It's just how you think or how you look at things. Today, a woman wearing this beautiful dress sitting right in front of me will look as beautiful if she wears an Indian attire and embraces our culture. Like you said, the European women, they are embracing Indian culture. Similarly, even we can embrace their culture. You know, what you wear is totally your choice. अब ये नहीं हो सकता ना मैं आज now I'm going to say, oh, I don't care, I'm going to wear whatever I want. I can't be here in bikini, can I? I don't see a beach here. I cannot be wearing bikini. So you dress according to place, people. Now today when I know that all sort of lynching eyes would be put upon me, because we live in a place where there are mix of people in society, good, bad, ugly, who looks at you how you do not know. So you want to be on the safer side. So you also want to dress like yourself, also stand out in the world, and also at the same time not unnecessarily trigger you know, any negative thoughts or attention towards yourself. So you should just know that what you're wearing, however you're wearing, if you're confident, walk in, big deal. Walk in and you know, heads will turn and eyeballs will be all grabbed by you. But वो confidence होना चाहिए. Like I said, everything has there's always two sides in a coin. Today I'm saying I am body confident. I can embrace any culture I want. And today in front of this beautiful, respectable crowd, I walk in wearing a bikini. I don't think that's going to be suitable. But मैं ये भी नहीं कह रही कि देखो मैं साड़ी लगा के आ गई. So you do whatever it is as per the place, the situation, the occasion, and yes, do it confidently.
Absolutely, and we love that confidence. Give it up for Nussrat's confidence, please, everybody. I love the way she's speaking. पहली बार इतने detail में हम लोग conversation कर रहे हैं, but I'm loving every bit of it. Limited time here, but of course we want to cover as many topics and conversations as possible. And I want to relate the topic of cultural heritage with your body of work, right? On one hand, there's exposure to global content. People over here in Bengal, they can watch what's happening in Korea and vice versa. But at the same time, we always understand that each and every place, they have their own cultural essence, right? Like when you talk about a Korean project, no matter how global it becomes, it will have that cultural essence of Korea. Similarly, when I talk about a Bengali project, it must, no matter how much it is trying to globalize itself, it must have that essence of being a Bengali project. What do you think, or how important is it for projects, because we are reaching a wider audience in today's time, to hold on to that cultural significance and heritage when it comes to presenting content, not just overall in the country, but also globally? Because we would say, for example, I have a great example called Kantara. Everybody has seen that movie, right? It's reached the audience all over the globe, but you talk about it because it has the essence and culture. What is the importance of that according to you?
It is very important to be original, very, very important to be rooted. You never, ever forget your roots. And I think I'm born and brought up in Bengal, and this place, the people here, they have never, ever forgotten their roots. You take them anywhere, a Bengali is always a Bengali. And that is not surprising, but that's what we're meant to do. A Bengali is all over. You take them to Morocco, you take them to Korea, they will watch Korean film, they will always have a Bengali opinion to give on top of that. So I think that makes us very, very proud.
You can take a Bengali out of Bengal, but you can't take Bengal out of a Bengali. That is exactly what people
like.
That is
what we should encash, at least, because you see South is doing that. We have never left that out, as far as movies are concerned, and these days digital platform raging, and people all over, because of the explosion, like the internet explosion, everybody knows what does a Bengali content look like just at the click of the smartphones. So definitely it is very, very important to put your culture out there, because that's what makes you different. Today, a South Indian cannot look like a Bengali, or cannot have a culture, or cannot have ways of living like a Bengali, and neither we can have otherwise. So I think it is very important to just be yourself, and I think as Bengalis, we are doing great at this. Today in Bengal's tier 2 or tier 3 cities also, there are people glued onto phones. They are spoiled for choices because they're all into subscription digital platforms, and yet they will go and they will watch Bangla stuffs, and that is what I like about our people here.
Absolutely, and I think very well put up. Like I said, limited time, then में 24 घंटे होते हैं. I would have loved to stretch the conversation with both Priyanka and Nussrat, but then time कम है. तो एक आखिरी सवाल जो बनता है वो ये है कि we were talking about feminism as well. Now there is.
I didn't talk about feminism.
मैंने बात की. I take full responsibility and accountability. That's me. But मुझे बताओ आप कि एक हो गया realistic feminism which we are dealing with in real life, right? And another kind of feminism is the kind of feminism that's projected on screen, be it regional Bengali content, Hindi ho, South ho, kuch bhi ho. What do you think the Bengali entertainment industry is doing brilliantly when it comes to projecting feminism on screen? Because
we are the best. We are the best. This is the land of Ma Durga, where women are worshipped. Our goddess is in the form of a woman. So they just know how to show their women empowered in all possible aspects and all possible senses. And if you see the kind of content we're putting out these days, it is not always You know, it used to be in our times then too. We used to, but I'm proud of doing that. I still love dancing around the trees with my heroes. But now when, you know, filmmakers come up to you and they get you something that you would want to portray on screen and create that sort of awareness, because these days the mediums are actually used to create awareness also. Other than the fact that we are putting forward a beautiful, magnanimous projection of our Bengali cinema, it is creating a lot of awareness. Bengali film industry or Bengali content that we are putting out, it is also very inclusive. You will see we are picking up such deep, underlying, complicated relationships which people would not have spoken about back then. And also, if I'm not wrong, I will make mistakes here, so please don't get offended. It is talking about LGBTQ and I think a few more pluses along with it. So we are all out in the open. Yeah, come on, we're not regressive, we're progressive Bengali cinema, and I'm certainly very, very proud and honored to be a part of Bengali cinema, because in Bengal, you actually know how to put the woman out in the correct form. They have never disrespected women in Indian cinema. You will see so much, इतना अलग-अलग content आ रहा है आजकल, কত অন্যরকম content আছে যেখানে মহিলাদেরকে ভিত্তি করে, মহিলাদেরকে center stage এ রেখে গল্প ভাবা হচ্ছে। I don't know how many places do people do that. It's happening in Bollywood also, but we were the beginners. We started first.
I think I can truly agree, because I live in Mumbai and I deal a lot with Hindi content as well. The sensitivity that people from Bengal show when it comes to projecting women bolo, ya fir, individuals from the LGBTQ community, I don't think even Hindi content has reached that space. Of course, there are.
We are very bold, huh? Our cinemas have a voice of its own. If you see, when I'm talking about my times, I used to love the Rituda era, where he's talking about things, he's showing things that, like before coming to the film industry, his was the only films that I had seen. The reason why? Because he shows a different kind of superpower in his films via the way he wants to tell his stories. You'll see his characters, his women characters, they're very powerful. So I think, we understand that sensitive part, and we know how to put it rightly in front of the audience.
Exactly, and that's why I said कि मैं वो personal biasness की वजह से नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. That truly is the case. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you all to give it up for Nussrat Jahan, please. Fantastic insight shared from her end. Give it up और जोर से मुझे सुनाई नहीं दे रहा यार. Let me give them the MC that we.
I hope we didn't bore you for long. It was lovely chatting with you, Shubhajit.
Always a pleasure.